Dan, Darcy, here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
I thought you already started.
Huh?
I thought you already started. I saw the
No, I was
countdown.
asking our audience. Are they ready?
Oh,
Not
an
you.
audience member.
Dan, are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right. I'm glad you're ready. Let's do it.
All right.
Ready,
We're
Dan.
already doing it.
Hmm?
We're already doing it. We're doing
Do
it.
it.
We're doing it. Here we
Good.
go.
Well, I've had a pretty eventful week. You've had an eventful week, Darcy? You've been watching a gimpy kid all week?
Yeah, I have. Had a doctor's appointment today. I can't remember if we talked about it last week about me doing that.
A little bit.
Did we?
Not a lot, but a little bit.
Okay.
I think
Well.
you're going to show the x-rays this week.
Oh, okay. I can do that.
That was our cliffhanger.
I think so.
What that was?
That's what
That was
going
a good
to bring
one.
people back in this week.
Yeah.
Well, are you going to pull those up while you're doing that? I got something to say to Jimmy.
Yo, what's up,
Okay.
To James.
James?
That wasn't a link to a YouTube video that you sent me. It was just paint trays before and after pictures.
Yeah.
That was going to be a link to a YouTube video with the same stuff. You promised. It couldn't have taken any more effort to send it in the form of a link to a YouTube video.
Well,
Does this
sending
thing work
you
out
the
for
link
an
to the
ashtray?
YouTube video would not take a lot of effort. You are correct.
Right.
Creating the YouTube video would have taken a little bit more effort.
Marginally. And maybe not.
Okay, so I did record the entire process.
The entire process of painting?
Well, not 100% of it, but segments of the entire
Cleaning
process.
out your brushes.
Cleaning
The
out the
entire process of
brushes.
cleaning
You don't
out
clean
your
up the brushes.
I did. I recorded everything with intentions of editing it down into a short YouTube video for your viewing pleasure, and I did not, and I have not, and I might.
That was better than the will have not, did not, will not.
Yeah. I posted a YouTube video today. I was on the way to work and I saw some turkeys and they were real close to the road, and I pulled out my camera, videoed them, pulled off on the side of the road, bing, 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 posted a YouTube video and got, let me see. Right now it's 997 views.
How many?
997.
Nice.
Nice.
And 4 subscribers.
There you go.
Daggum.
Wait, I didn't even know that till just now. But that's not a good sign because if I got 4 subscribers off of it and I still only have 112, that means some people quit on me already. Oh no, that hurts.
That's funny. How many did you have prior to the 4?
Oh, I had 111 before that. Oh man,
You gained 4 and
I gained 4 and lost 3,
yeah.
2. Oh, wow.
I may go away here for a second. I've got to figure out something on it.
You probably don't want to do this,
Still
Jenny. Yeah, you're still here.
Okay.
It's probably not worth the pain of losing subscribers when you only have 112. You lose some. It's pretty hurtful.
Because if I lost 3 or 4 subscribers, I would have
You'd be-
none
You'd
or
have a
minus
deficit.
1 subscriber.
You'd have to start paying YouTube to host your videos if you lost that many subscribers. They're like, we had people quit YouTube altogether because of your videos. Man, that hurts. Let me look on my other dashboard because I don't even believe that.
How do you who unsubscribes?
Somebody who didn't get what they're paid for. I
Maybe
reckon.
it was
Somebody who
me.
didn't want to see any turkeys.
Dude, I didn't even know this view existed on my computer. Look at this.
Well, yeah. There's
I've
a
got
bunch of views.
I got all these windows.
Yeah.
It's new. It's a new thing that Riverside started pretty recently, where you can have Riverside open over top of everything,
Oh,
I believe.
all right. So mine is now set up with a triangle, like me, Jimmy, Darcy. How does it go to? Is it like that on the YouTube?
No, it's still just the three in
No.
a row. You
Three
got
in
to
a
go
row.
to whatever you have it on is just whatever you have it on.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to do this now. The heck? Okay, now I went back. All right, Darcy.
You want to see that X-ray?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put up the old X-ray of my kid's foot. So this is the initial X-ray, and then also today's. So that's pretty cool. This is the first. This is from 10 days ago. Busted up pretty good there and there.
It's
Can you
not
see
up.
Are we
my
supposed to be
cursor?
seeing what you're talking about?
Can you see my cursor?
No.
No, you got to share screen.
Oh, okay. Huh?
You haven't shared your screen yet.
I haven't?
Uh-uh.
Oh, weird. It just like switched over. What happened? Refresh to share your screen? Issue. What the heck? I don't know. We're running into an issue sharing your screen. I'm gonna try again. Share screen. Click here. Share. It's just. Can you see it now?
No.
Nope.
It says that it is.
I'm down here, bud.
Okay.
Where's mom at?
In bed.
Oh shit.
Oh, did she park her car in the garage?
Yes.
I do not know what's going on with this, but it should be. It should be working. And it says that it is.
What do you guys got now?
That's something else. What is that?
That's my
It's
channel.
Dan's channel.
Oh,
I just wanted to see if I could share screen. So
Okay,
I can share
here.
screen.
I'll text it to you, I guess. I can text you the picture.
Can you email it to me?
Am I? Yes.
Try that. Because I can pull up an email easier than a text.
Okay. Photos.
Or just sharing photos and then I can open photos.
Here we go. It's this. Share. Next. And mark. Oops. Share. Next. What we got here? To Dan. Oh, come on now. For whatever reason. Oh, there it is.
Doing the photos deal, or are you sending it to me?
I just emailed it to you.
All right.
Anyway, so thanks for bearing with us, folks.
Get folk.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. So we're gonna share screen. There we go. Boom. Is that it?
Okay. Yeah, that lower one is the old.
Wow.
The original. So those first two are broken. And then the top one.
Here and here. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that the growth plate right there? Or is that the knuckle?
So yeah, it's the knuckle. It's like the cartilage in the joint. Yeah. So that top one is today's.
Looking pretty good.
I mean, so she said that the it hasn't started like regrowing, but everything's in really good position, and they switched her to a boot. So she can't walk on it yet, but she's.
What's the little void right there? Is that just where like scar tissue starting to grow, or what? Just a different angle, maybe not as clear of an angle.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It's real clear there.
Sort of a. Yeah, sort of a. Almost a shadow or something, maybe.
Wow.
Anyway. Yep.
Looking good.
Yep.
That's weird. I have two screens.
Yeah, you got two screens going.
And so my mouse is showing up on both of them sometimes. All right.
All right, here we go.
Nitro.
Guinness. Oh yeah.
Bad neighbor.
That's from old Rob Mock.
Rob Mark.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Was that one of the
Old
things
Rob Mock?
at the funeral?
Yeah. Yep. It stays in my cabinet, and I drink beer out of it.
We have two of them in our cabinet, but all the printing came off.
Jimmy doesn't wash his beer glass. He just keeps reusing it. It's like a coffee cup.
Yes.
Just like one of Darcy's coffee cups.
You must not put that in the dishwasher.
It goes in the dishwasher every time.
Man. Yep, mine. All the paint just is gone. You can just, if you look at it in just the right angle and just the right light, you can just faintly see a little bit of something on the glass. Like the glass is just not quite as clear. Where
Like
the print
looks good on this one.
Huh?
The label looks good on this.
Mm-hmm.
So last night, for some reason, I had a dream where he showed up, and couldn't really figure out why exactly, but we were building him a house or something, and we were arguing about how it ought to be. And I kind of like, you like in a dream that you remember, you always kind of like half wake up and realize that it's a dream or whatever.
Right.
And I was like, no, this is a dream. He's gone. And it didn't have any like real significance, the interaction. The memorable part was just that I don't think he's I don't think he's showed up in a little while,
Hmm.
in maybe several months or maybe longer than that. So
There he was.
maybe he's back. I don't know. You never know.
Maybe it's because you wish he was here when you're building this house.
Yeah, when I start doing electrical work and plumbing, I'm gonna wish he was here for sure.
Nice.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
guess I gotta learn it.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah,
Might as well be you.
yeah, I guess.
Or Jimmy.
Did old Cliff ever make it out there?
I talked to him a couple days ago. He hasn't made it out, but we were working on the truss design. What he thought would be a good truss design for it. He hadn't been out or anything yet.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
I mean,
you don't have much there to see at the moment.
there's nothing here to see. Yeah, it's right now. It's footers in the ground with rebar sticking up out of the footers, and I've had them back on the driveway 3 times now. Like
How does that whole process go?
Apparently I put the driveway through an old pond or something because there's like 4 feet of black gooey dirt clay, whereas on the rest of the property there's like 6 inches to a foot of black, and then it goes straight to clay after that. So it's kind of down there in the bottom where we're not where we're putting the house, but where the driveway's going through. So I'm going to be up to like 25 grand on the driveway before it's all said and done. Pretty easily. Yeah, it sucks. But what are you going to do? You know, it's kind of interesting.
Write yourself an easement.
Just drive through the other person's driveway. The interesting thing about houses is whenever they appraise them later, they don't take into account how much it costs you to put in a driveway.
No.
They don't take into account like any number of things that could make one project way more expensive than another one. They're just like, don't care.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. And
I've thought of that before.
yeah, like, oh, even like I'd say even if you put in a concrete or paved driveway, not paved, but asphalt driveway, it would be a little better, but it would not be the cost of paving it better.
Right.
No.
So houses are kind of weird that way. I mean, everybody's complaining about how expensive houses are, but like, anybody want to just stop working at their computer job and build houses? No,
Nope.
I don't think so. Not for $25 or $30 an hour as a laborer, you know. So like, they're not really that expensive when you think about like compared to what the people buying them make. Yeah.
Right.
My truck broke down again today.
Heard that.
Me too.
It's making me think about getting rid of it.
Really?
Because it left me on the side of the road about, a month ago. And then I just did brakes on it the other night, which, that's just routine, but still working on it. And then I don't know if I hit a pothole and it jacked my alignment, but it's eating my front passenger side tire right now. So I got to get that figured out. And then just now, like, not a big deal. I blew a radiator hose, but still, it's just one more thing that I got to fix instead of doing other things I should be doing.
Yep. That's no fun.
I replaced the brake pads on my rear of my truck the other day. The right, it went fine, but the right rear had eaten into the rotor just a little bit, and it's kind of still making the sound that it was making.
You did not replace the rotor?
I did not replace the rotor. Is it going to keep making the sound, or is it going to smooth it out eventually? That's the question.
What sound is it making?
Just the like kind of sound that it was making
Continuously?
when I brake. Only when I brake.
How big is the groove in your rotor?
What?
How big is the groove in your rotor?
Probably. It's not really a groove. It's just probably a third of it that is rougher than the rest of it.
It's not going to smooth out.
No, it's just going to eat the brake pad.
That's what I think will happen.
Yeah,
that's generally your brake pad just kind of ends up conforming to.
Well, stop making the sound. That's all I care about.
It should eventually, unless it's like real rough.
The thing is, it looks very similar when I look at it to when you get rotors turned.
Oh.
You know, they don't look as smooth right after you get them turned. As
shiny.
Yeah,
they're not shiny.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks kind of like that. That's why I was like, nah, it's probably all right. It wasn't even the whole brake pad. Like if the brake pad is like this shape, it wasn't even the whole brake pad eaten away. It was just the very front edge of the very front edge of the rotor, you know, that gets pushed in a little harder, starting to touch metal to metal. For like one day of driving.
Okay. Are you you have a double piston caliper?
No.
No?
Single.
Huh.
Meaning it has one piston on one side, slides on two slider rods, and when that piston pushes, there's two little clips that go over the other rotor, the other pad, and push them together. Is that like a double would have a piston on both sides, right? Yeah, it's a single.
No, two pistons on the same side.
Oh no, it's a one piston on one side.
Okay.
Yeah.
And everything was like you didn't have any trouble compressing it.
Mm-mm. I used a clamp. It's like a
yeah,
like a wood.
Yeah, and you both of those rods that caliper is like moves on or moving freely.
I think so. I mean, I greased them up. Before I put them back together.
I think it doesn't sound like anything's like hanging.
It doesn't. Yeah, and when you let off, it stops making the sound when you let off the brakes.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't sound, oddly though, it doesn't sound that dissimilar to when it was
metal on metal.
on metal. It sounds very similar. But I've checked. Here's the other thing. So I was gonna replace the fronts, and I pulled the wheels off, and they had, I don't know if it's a wear indicator, but like the pads have like a notch in them in the middle of them, like where there's no pad. And there's still like 3/16 of an inch of notch left. I don't know if that's the wear indicator, but the fronts don't seem bad.
Is there any chance that is it sounding like that on both sides?
See, that's what I can't really tell. Maybe it is sounding like that on both sides. Because I have a
chance that you got your little clips in backwards. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
no, they're very specific on this one.
And you can't get them backwards?
I don't think so. No, they have little teeth that grab the outside of the caliper to where when you try to push them in too far, they won't even go in too far. and their profile is like
pretty specific. Like you can't put them on.
the
Wrong.
profile is. Oh, I don't know if that's gonna.
Yeah.
Is like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah.
And so I don't think that they can go. Meaning, and this is where the caliper or the pad slides in. Like they pretty much don't go in a different way. I don't know. How were yours?
Mine are fine.
Yeah, just pads.
I mean, I ended up putting a new caliper on the truck.
Oh, right.
Because my one, so it's 2 pistons. It's a heavy truck.
Right.
And whenever I went to compress everything, one
Front,
of the
backs.
pistons, rear, one of the pistons squished right down and totally fine, and the other one was still out about a good ½ inch or 3/4, and I was just cranking and cranking on it, trying to get it to push back in, and so I went and bought a new one.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think I was telling you, I'm certain that you can probably buy for very little money a rebuild kit for those calipers, but it was only $100 for for a remanufactured one.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have spent probably, $30 on a rebuild kit, and then had to buy a reamer and I don't know, figure it out. So $100 seemed like a pretty good deal.
You probably already know my brake pad story from my 2002 Tundra, because we've redone the front end of mine, you and I.
Yeah.
Oddly, did I ever have this conversation with you? Whenever I took my truck to have the wheel bearings replaced again, they didn't have cartridge style wheel bearings. They had to rebuild it ground up. That's not what we did, is it? We didn't have to build bearings.
I think we replaced the whole hub.
The whole assembly.
The hub assembly. Yeah. So that's probably the difference between a shop who's gonna pull that hub apart and then repress everything.
They had to repress it. Yeah.
Who are gonna just, I mean, so for them, you're paying a lot more labor and a lot less parts.
But still,
you're paying
$1 a side part or something.
A lot more part and no labor.
Yeah. So
actually, I think you did.
I paid you, but it wasn't that much. I mean, it was like one day, wasn't it? We did it in one day, or you basically did it.
We did it in an evening or something, didn't we?
Yeah. I feel like, if I remember right, and I could be remembering wrong, because you're still my friend, so if I didn't pay you enough, then I feel like I asked a shop what they'd charge, and that's pretty much what we spent on it between the parts, and you got whatever the difference was, if I remember right. But
maybe. I don't really pay attention to that stuff.
I called a guy the other day, and I was like, hey, it was Brad. I was like, Brad, remember that deal where I shorted you $100 and something on that job? He's like, yeah. I was like, did I ever pay you the difference? He's like, yeah. I was like, are you sure? Because I don't remember paying you. And that's been a while ago. He's like, no, you did. I was like, all right. You'd tell me if I did short you, right? He's like, oh, I'd tell you. I'm like, all right, because I probably, this long later, I wouldn't tell somebody. So I couldn't remember what I did 6 months ago. So, okay, 2002 Tundra. I've had it since late 2003, maybe closer to 2004. So I got a 2-year-old truck, And
Late 2003 is pretty close to 2004.
yeah, and I think that he got it like in 2001. You know how they bring out the models
Mm-hmm.
that were like
Yeah.
2002's already on the lot in 2001?
Yeah, in October,
Yeah.
September.
I think he got it like fresh off the press. So it was like a 2-year-old truck. But I've had it since then.
Yep.
First set of brake pads I ever bought. AutoZone. AutoZone? Yeah, AutoZone. Unlimited lifetime warranty brake pads. I have never paid for another set of brake pads on that truck.
How's that possible?
And I have replaced those brake pads. I
You
can
have like 1,700,000 miles on that thing, don't you?
380,000 miles, and I am for sure going to go back to AutoZone and get another set of brake pads for that thing here in the next couple weeks.
Dang.
And here's the crazy thing. That's crazy. Because that's like 8 sets of brake pads, maybe? Something like that. I mean,
And
I've changed the brake
2000
pads at every house I've lived at. Plus,
2006 brake prices.
yeah. In that time, I have never replaced the rear brakes.
Woof. Okay.
They're drums. And I have never replaced them. In fact, I don't even know if the rear brakes work at all.
Oh man.
No idea. So far,
Wait,
it's died. But
I think that I think we did the rear drums once, didn't we?
I don't think so. The number of times I have put the parking brake in on that truck and just freaking driven, been like 10 miles down the road before realizing that they were locked out back there. So many times. Like, think, oh, the rear brakes are like light a cigarette on them, hot. Never replace them. I bet they don't. I bet if you lock the rear brakes, it's just nothing. I bet it doesn't even do anything at this point.
Wow.
But I did use them when I did use the emergency brake when my front brake lines went out about 6 or 7 years ago. I had a brake line blow, and I did use the rear brake to get where I was going and get stopped. But who knows what's inside of it?
6 years ago, they did work a little bit.
Oh yeah, there was that. We were working at that house where we saw the UFOs. Yeah, and that's been a long time ago. It was before everybody saw UFOs.
Mm.
What did you see?
Dude,
You have a video?
send me a link. I think Trevor has a video. I'll see if Trevor will on here.
Trevor, send a video.
Trevor, post it in the comments or whatever.
Yeah, just post in the comments.
Nobody's. Who has it pulled up?
My wife just said I was the one who paid Brad. That may be why you don't remember paying him.
Nice.
Is she upstairs
why.
watching us?
She said she walked through the room whenever I was talking about that.
Oh,
She's in bed. Okay.
We don't have any viewers currently, but average view. Oh, that must be from Trevor watching last week. Average view duration 34 minutes. Well, that's now. You have it pulled up?
I just pulled it up.
I don't.
Just now?
Just now.
Well, somebody was watching for 34 minutes and 44 seconds, which is almost
That's
the
the
entire
entire thing.
time.
Okay, it's probably Faith.
Did you tell her
No, I haven't, but
that she should watch our podcast? How's that back feeling, Jimmy?
Oh man, this heat pad is helping a lot. It still does
Good.
not feel great. It slid down on me though, so I had to tie it back up.
I got a text from old Bud yesterday, telling me last night saying the Starlink train was headed across the northern sky, and I ran outside. I was probably outside within 15 seconds of getting the notification, and I did not see it. It was pretty darn hazy
Who did
in
you
the
get a
north.
notification from?
Brett.
No, he didn't text me.
He probably forgot you live out in the country now and have a good view of the sky.
True. I don't know that he ever knew to begin with, did he? Oh no, he did. I told him. I'm excited to see what you saw, Dan.
so you remember when, like a couple years back, when there was a UFO floating across the country, and they said it was a weather balloon,
or whatever.
but it actually was literally a Chinese spy balloon,
Right?
right? These things looked similar to that in the sky. The difference is that we look up and we see this like oval thing from Kansas City. It would be north, kind of northward of us, but way up in the air. I even had a camera with a zoom lens on it, and I think I took photos of it, and we watched it for a while, and it didn't move at all. And then we're talking to each other, and we look up. I think there may have been, if I remember right, there may have been two, and then one disappeared, and we're like, what? And the other one was just gone when we looked up again. It was weird.
That's crazy.
Trevor,
Hello.
hey, do you remember when we were working over in Kansas on that deck for the big lady and the husband that like smoked cigars on the front porch that we just put in? And
The ring camera.
Yeah, they had the ring camera, and we were talking about something off color, and she just like jumps in on the ring camera.
Hey guys, just checking in.
Awesome.
Oh, snap.
Yes, I do remember that.
It was the firefighter that stole all the crap from the fire department and had it in his garage and was showing it to us. But we saw, like, describe the UFO sighting that we, like, remember it.
Describe what we saw.
Yeah.
What we saw was north of us, somewhere towards North Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
In the sky, it looked like a good distance. I couldn't say how far. There was like a tic-tac shape that was just like pinned in the sky. And I don't remember how. What?
It wasn't moving. It was perfectly stationary.
Pinned, not like drifting, nothing, just stuck in one spot. And we were moving around, like comparing it with like the trees, with house roof lines or poles, whatever, to see like, is this thing not moving, or does it just look like it's not moving? And comparing it with other objects, it was not moving. And it sat there for, I don't know, 15 to 30 minutes. I don't remember exactly how long we watched it. But at the end of us watching it, it just went from not moving to gone. Like,
What?
we saw it accelerate faster than I've seen anything accelerate and disappear. Just zoop, gone.
Gone.
And we were like, what? A few days later, we see news articles where DARPA is saying, oh, don't worry about that thing you saw in the sky. It was one of our weather balloons. And we're like, are you sure about that?
Red-
First of all,
weather balloon.
First of all, DARPA doesn't admit to anything. And if they admit to something, then it's probably not true. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was-
I mean, it was weird. I'm not saying it was aliens, but I've never seen an object go from not moving to moving and disappearing that fast. And also just being like pinned in the sky.
You have obviously never watched The Flight of the Navigator.
I have not watched The Flight of the Navigator.
Oh,
I was
that's
thinking
a
Flight of the
great
Conchords, and I was thinking, I don't know how the comedians are related to
Flight of
this,
the
but okay.
Navigator was a little, just a touch before Trevor's time. It was probably when we were like 6 or 7 or 8, right?
Yeah.
Like first, second, third grade. So he would have been born about that time.
It's like 86.
Well, let me rephrase that. In fictitious stories, I have seen things do that,
Okay.
and it's always related to aliens.
Even when they're making it up, they assume that it's aliens.
Yes.
Dan, I've watched movies that were made before I was born.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing about Flight of the Navigator. I haven't met a lot of people who weren't like somewhere between 6 and 10 when it came out that have seen it.
That's yeah.
It's not like Wizard of Oz or Gone with the Wind or,
But it
Ricky
should be.
Bobby, Talladega Nights, the Legend of Ricky Bobby. It's not like that.
Right.
But it should be.
Trevor, do you have video footage of this thing?
Don't know if I have video footage. I'm trying to go back and see because I think I even had this phone when we saw it. No, it'd be backed up to the cloud at this point. Let me.
I'm going to go to photos and I'm going to search UFO.
and see if Google tags it as UFO.
Dude,
Where are my photos?
there's a whole litany of UFOs on here.
I'm sure Google's in on it.
Here's one of them.
Yeah, let me get back over here to see.
What is that?
Is that a blimp?
It's a blimp from underneath the belly of a blimp.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
unidentified.
That ain't unidentified.
Another blimp. Blimp.
Now you've got me curious. I want to see what my phone comes up with on a UFO.
Trevor being on here is really killing our comment section this week.
I know, right? I was at a dinner.
Here's what I got on my UFO.
Oh, that's also
Not
not
UFO.
unidentified.
Didn't quite look like that.
Dude, my phone has come up with so many things it's calling UFO, including ASA. ASA's a UFO, apparently.
I get it.
No, they're probably not wrong.
Yeah, my son is also a UFO.
No, that's not it.
Here's
Oh.
one.
What do you got? What is that?
UFO.
UFO.
It's a hat block. The brim part of a hat block.
And I'm not coming up with anything on these. I'm not going back far enough. Apparently, UFOs didn't exist very long ago.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's not it.
I don't think these are in any particular order. Weird.
I also have, other pictures of a strange object that was above my house. Well, I say strange object, a strange light.
You have more?
I don't know if can I share screen on here?
I don't know if you are you on a laptop? Should be able
Well,
to.
right now I'm just on the
You're on phone.
on the phone.
Here's what mine's calling a UFO.
Yes.
Yeah. Boy,
Wait.
that's a good looking dude. Who is that?
UFO.
Come on, Jim.
See an option to share screen on the mobile.
That's going to get us blocked from YouTube.
Oh, is it?
I thought that was Dunstan's. I've seen guns on YouTube.
Not firing, though. Well,
Not live.
On lives, they don't allow it because they don't allow people to be accidentally shot on live YouTube. Kind of makes sense if you think about it.
yeah.
Speaking of strikes on YouTube, I got one last week.
Were you naked again?
I posted.
Oh wow, okay.
Not
this time.
I posted a short and I put music to it, from their little select this song and add it to your short list.
Yeah.
And I got a warning saying, initially it said copyright, right in the main description of what was going on. Then when I clicked through into some more information, it said, this is not a copyright strike. Your video has just been is limited reach because this is it goes against something in some parts of the country or the world. And apparently in, I think, Belarus,
Yeah.
which I probably have lots of viewership in Belarus.
I'm sure.
You can't play that Jelly Roll song or something.
Okay.
But that's not a strike like the gun one.
So right, initially it said something about copyright issue, and then when you clicked in, it said it's not a copyright strike. We're just limiting your reach.
Right.
Don't you already have limited reach with your platform?
Yeah, I've done that. I've kind of done that, just proactively. I've limited myself to.
Right.
I've limited myself to only allowing myself to be viewed by a few people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know. I'm not finding the UFO.
Oh well.
Well, that's disappointing. Maybe next week.
Yeah, maybe.
No, but it was legitimately a weird experience because of because it just was for so long. Who else was out there working with us, Trevor? It was you, me. Was it Jamie?
Jamie was out there, and Radcliffe.
Was Radicke? Robert Radicke, was he out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Radicke.
That came up because I was telling them about my brake situation. That's the job where my brakes went out, and I had to enact the rear emergency brakes just to get to where we were going because my front brake line busted. And I still have a brake line on that truck that is about a foot extra too long that I had to bend in circles and stuff to get it to go to the spot. And if I was president, I would just simply say, if you make brake lines for passenger vehicles, the connections have to be this. That is the stupidest situation. Like, do you know what I'm talking about, guys? Like, this brake connector with this same size line fits Mazda, Ford, and 3 other obscure vehicles. This one
Jaguar
fits Chevy, GM, and like half of the Chrysler line. This one does Toyota and Hyundai, and it's like just like they're all the same thing. Just this is what the universal threading for a brake line is. Just do it.
I don't think they're going to do it.
What?
Trevor,
Why?
Are you jumping in again?
Yeah, I'm switching.
Oh, hey, Trev. Wait, what the? You're in a different place.
Look at that.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Because of the aliens.
That looks so real, Trev.
He's in 2 different places at the same time. That is some UFO stuff.
So yeah, that's my brake line / alien story. I'm sticking to it.
I bet I know what's going on here.
In other news, my cat, my bobtail cat had kittens this week.
Oh, man.
Any of them bobtailed?
No. She is a little tramp, I'll tell you that. She dropped out 2 kittens that were basically twins that were like dark with some splotchy, like almost like they're almost like a calico, but they're like splotchy, like a Jersey cow, not a Jersey cow, like a Holstein kind of a cow type of a splotchiness. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then let me go back to the beginning. She was whining around all morning. She would lay on the ground, and if you looked at her, she would lay on her back, and she would roll over where you could see her belly, and she'd be like, ah! And I'd scratch her belly and scratch her neck, and she's like laying there. And then Sarah said, I went to work, I came back, and Sarah says, she's been trying to get into the bedrooms, and she's been on the hunt for a place to nest and, drop these kittens. And I'm like, all right. And I look at her bum, and she's starting to leak a little bit. And I looked it up. ChatGPT told me that that's probably within 24 hours, she's going to have kittens. So I'm like, all right. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? So I go get we have a wool army blanket that we will lay down for her to have kittens. So I go get the army blanket, and I go into our closet in the back of the place where I hang my shirts. Push them out of the way, get her a little spot, lay it in there. She comes walking in, and she walks up, climbs up over me, climbs back into the spot, turns around a couple times, lays down, and her belly just starts going like contracting. And I'm like, holy cow. She's been waiting.
She was waiting for you.
For a spot that she was comfortable dropping kittens.
Wow.
She had kittens the first time. She was wanting in the house, just like every person that walked in that, she wasn't an inside cat. She's not an inside cat. She wanted in the house. And somebody just let her in the house and nobody could find her. And we found her with kittens in Marcella's closet that time. Which luckily the closets all have PVC flooring, wood floor, or Pergo type PVC flooring.
Mm-hmm.
She dropped those 2 kittens within 20 minutes. And then an hour later, she had 2 kittens that look just like her, except they don't have bobtails. But I'm going to take some scissors to them if I. No, that's terrible. I'm not going to do that.
Wow.
I'm not going to do that. And then all day later, I got back from work at like 5 o'clock that night, and I was like, man, she still looks kind of fat, but maybe she's going to drop some afterbirth, the whole deal. And I went down. I don't know what I was doing. An hour later, I go up. There's 2 pastel gray. You know what I mean by pastel gray? Like light gray,
Sure.
gray kittens. There's 6 of them now.
Dang.
Nice.
She dropped 2, waited for several hours, dropped 2 more that looked the same again as each other, and then dropped 2 more after that. I'm guessing, although I don't know, I'm guessing I'm guessing there's 3 different papas with those cats. Possibly.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
She getting around.
When she needs to do the deal, she's like,
Motivated.
yeah.
Somebody told me that those cats will travel up to 20 miles in one day.
Probably the Toms do. I've never seen our cats more than 100 yards from the house. I mean, I almost always see them at the house, and I've seen them as much as 100 yards away from the house. Let's put it that way.
Any of them females?
I don't know. I haven't looked at them that close. Why, you need a female?
I don't know. If I was gonna have another cat around here, I'd probably go for a girl because it seems like all of the male cats that we've had wander away. And the one female that we had, she always stayed real close up to the house until the time she went out in the road and got squished. Jimmy, you saw that.
I got to see that.
I don't know if you realize it, but that's all blamed on me, right? Like, for giving you the other cats. Your cat's
I know.
dying is all blamed on me. Just so we're...
Whatever.
I'm fine with it. I'm just telling you.
Who blamed you?
Yeah.
Our wife. And my wife. So, I'm going to try and pull this up. So, yeah, you can't really tell. But those are the pastel ones.
Yeah.
And those are the 2 that look like her. And then the 2 that are like multicolored, I guess they're 3-colored. Black, white, and like
Calicos?
they're calicos.
Mm.
But they're the same. Like those 2 came out, and I don't know if that's one's head and one's body. Then those 2, and then those 2 light gray ones.
Nice.
So
That's fun.
yeah, it's kind of fun. I don't mind having kittens. Everybody else is like, oh, but then like you should get them fixed, and I'm like, you can take care of cats pretty easy if you need to. I mean,
So your cats stay outside unless they're having babies?
unless having babies, or this winter they were allowed in against my personal feelings about it. They were allowed in because the weather was so brutal, and they like it inside.
And they didn't have a big barn to get out of the weather.
They didn't have a big barn, and they didn't have an insulated room in the big barn with heaters.
If
That
they
keep
did have
out of
it,
the weather.
surely would have stayed out.
Freezing. They would have been in that room all winter. That is true. But they would have been perfectly fine. Instead, they got to lay in front of the windows, sunning themselves, while we all complained about having cat hair on our furniture.
Everything.
Yeah. And keeping the lint roller suppliers in business all winter.
Yeah, count me out.
Dude. Cats shed like crazy.
Yeah, they're nasty. Are your cats indoor cats, Trev?
Yes. All three of them are inside most of the time. One is inside all of the time. One out of the three.
Are
Just
they
wants to go out.
long haired or short haired?
They're regular haired. I guess that means short haired.
Regular.
I don't know.
There's technically 4. There's hairless, which still have some hair. There's short hair. There's regular hair and long hair,
And there's
and
no
then
hair.
and then curly haired. So there's 5.
Don't
According
know.
to you.
What do you mean? According to me, according to reality,
Ask Chat GPT how many cat hairs there are.
Yeah.
it's just
Cat-
the video.
Three
It's like
hairs are there.
there's no haired, there's short haired, there's long haired, and there's curly haired.
Now, I for sure would, if I had the opportunity. I say this with the understanding that the opportunity exists if I want to spend the money. Without spending a bunch of money, if I had the opportunity to get one of those Sphinx cats, 100% I would, because those things are wacky, and I would have that in my house.
Like personality wise, or just looks wise.
Everything. I'm pretty sure everything. I think they're like weird, like interesting personality, and also super ugly.
You're talking about the ones with basically no hair, just like with peach fuzz on them.
Yeah, the Sphinx
Ooh.
cats.
Are
Yeah.
they expensive?
They are.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
We have some friends that have a hairless sphinx. And it is. Petting it is about like you'd expect it to feel.
it's nasty.
Sure.
I mean, it's kind of like your ball sack.
Basically.
I'm gonna say, like it's strangely familiar.
So weird. I don't know what it is. All right. So this
There's something tactilely familiar about it. I don't know what it is. Well, is that the one that got chased up into a tree and they thought it would literally freeze to death if it stayed out overnight in the tree?
Not freeze to death. It was summer, so whenever they got it out of the tree, it had a
It was
sunburn.
sunburned?
It was literally
Oh, yeah.
sunburned. It's like the pads on its fingers, toes, whatever, were like all bloody and scraped up from climbing the tree because it's like an inside diva. So it was.
Yeah, you have to be
I was
really
laughing.
careful that they don't get all sunburned.
That's weird.
Hey, have you seen the video? The dude has a bobcat and he keeps panning over to his dog, and his dog is like freaked out looking.
Mm-hmm.
The dog's eyes are like, that's not a cat, right? Like, have you seen that?
No.
I have.
The funniest video. He's like feeding a bobcat like chicken, and the dog is just like sitting there like petrified with his eyes like bugging out of his head.
No.
I don't remember what they're called. I think they're called a Savannah cat. I actually, if money wasn't an issue, I would pay for a Savannah cat. They're about 2.5 to 3 times bigger than a house cat. They have like splotches like a jaguar or something, or like a cheetah, but they're bred with cats. They're like an actual wild cat bred with. Was that it?
This isn't it.
Is that it, Trev?
This isn't what we saw. This is above my house.
Oh, that's above your house.
Oops. Just another
'Cause-
weird thing that kind of like this one I didn't see leave. This one, like, I watched it for about 10 minutes and then I went into I had the girls come out, they went and looked at it, then we turned and said something, and then it was gone. So I didn't see this one move, but this was sitting like almost straight up from my house there. That one was just in June.
Hmm. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw anything about if anybody was claiming this was anything specific, but uh,
Yeah, the ones we saw were more ovally shaped.
they were yeah, oval, like a tic tac.
What you going with there, Dan?
Old dudes from Odell. But honestly, it's like it's one of those like, meh, it's fine. It's not impressive. My favorite thing from them, they're from Fort Collins, Colorado.
Ooh,
Odell is?
I'm going out to Colorado at the end of May, end of April, beginning of May. Going out to Colorado Springs, which if you're ever in the vicinity of Colorado Springs, you need to see Bishop's Castle.
Dude,
Bishop's
Oh.
Castle is epic. It's unhinged, is what it is.
you should throw a picture of that up. That's not a good perspective on it. Oh, that is.
That's 160 feet at the
Is
top
sound
there,
coming
so
through on this,
that's
or is it silent?
not where I'm headed. Okay.
That's sound is on.
Sounds on.
Yeah, I don't like hearing myself there.
Hmm.
That's outside of Colorado Springs.
Yeah, it's about, I forget if it's like 30 or 45 minutes kind of southwest of Colorado Springs.
Oh, snap.
And it's this castle that this dude, just some random dude, Bishop, something or other Bishop, built out on the side of a mountain because he was mad at like a national park staff who, whenever he was a child, yelled at him to get off a waterfall. They're like, you can't be on there. And he's like, you know what? Screw you people. I'm going to go make my own cool stuff. Anybody can do whatever they want on it.
So it's just open to the public?
There.
Earlier.
It's open to the public, and there's signage all over basically that says, the government made me write this. I hate them, but they made me write this disclaimer that you're coming onto
Here I
this
am.
property of your own will and whatnot.
Or as high as I'm going to get. I'm sure somebody's probably climbed down
And
on
it's
here.
scary because
but-
this stuff is wobbly.
That's not
Is that
me.
the electrical wire?
We're wiring for a light right there, right?
Just a little bit further.
That's that one. This thing over here is like
Okay, here I am.
this. Well, whenever I turn to it here in a second, maybe.
This is like when my wife saw us climbing Vitavu and was like, I can't watch. We've only been married a year and my husband's going to die climbing this thing.
So all of these metal structures, this dude welded together free floating.
What?
Nice.
He'd just take pieces out there and he'd weld them on as he went. So
I
it's
like this guy a lot.
unhinged.
Yeah. Old Bishop sounds
Look
fun.
at that thing. Hoisted everything up by hand and with like pulleys he made himself.
Is it finished or is he still working on it?
I think he's died and his son is like managing it now. It's like, look at that vehicle in the distance. It's crazy that this exists and that people are only allowed to be on it because they basically, by coming on the property, you sign away your own liability. Like
Dang.
it's stated all over the place. And they've been sued. I'm continuing Trevor's statement. I think that he said they've been sued like 100 times by the state.
By the state?
Yeah.
So is there like a donation box?
Yeah. There's a donation box. I mean, you could just fall off that right there. You could just trip
No
and die.
kidding.
Dude,
And you
That's crazy.
climb up to the top of that. Dude, it's cool.
Yeah, I gotta check that
Is that
out.
all like? Is that all like slip form
Yeah, slip
props
form,
and stuff?
hand motored, and hand welded in place.
Wow,
Oh,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's
It's freaky
bizarre.
looking at from here.
It was it was worse being up there.
Did any of
This
it
little
feel unstable?
all of the metal portions feel unstable.
Oh,
Literally,
really?
this disco ball here, he built so that if aliens come to Earth, you can have your disco party going on up there to notify them where to come. And whenever you
hmm.
stand up in there, the wind is just blowing that thing several inches side to side. And the same with this bridge is it goes out here and there's no like cross bracing. It just goes metal pieces just go down here. And so this whole thing is pretty wobbly side to side.
Wow.
Wow,
It's
that's
sketchy.
awesome.
Like that's it. This is
Dang.
all of the cross brace right there.
That's awesome.
I've never heard of this place.
I would go on it once. It's
It
worth
looks
it
like
one
you did.
time.
I would say, yeah, you did.
Yeah, after this, we might go back out there. Who knows? But it's definitely sketchy.
You take your kids up there?
I did. But like the whole time I was like, okay, you got two of our kids, I got two of our kids, and I think only one of them, I think Pete maybe, I don't know if she was in the video, she might have come up here.
You're wearing the same shirt.
I'm always wearing, this is my favorite hoodie. But yeah, I don't know if this played through all the way already, but yeah, no, it's awesome and terrifying at the same time.
Nice.
That's pretty great.
So when we were building my barn, I rented a SkyTrack and a articulating man lift. And did you ever go up in it, Trevor? It was like that. It wasn't a straight scissor lift. It didn't just scissor and have two things that like went up. It was like this number, and then when it got to the top, it was a 48-foot boom. And when it got to the top, the inside sleeve, kind of like a telehandler, sleeved out. And it technically, whenever you lifted it straight above itself, it technically could do its max weight fully extended. But you were articulating like 3 sets of booms from here to here to here, and then extending the boom out. I don't know if we ever got it all the way to the top of what it could do. I would categorize myself as not afraid of heights. And that thing was rated for its full like 1,500 pound capacity at 48 feet tall. And it would move. You felt like you were moving like 2 feet if the wind even like touched you. And it absolutely, completely freaked me out.
Dang.
I stayed up there for like a minute and I was like, ugh. I feel like I'm going to be on top of this thing and the wind is just going to be like, deep, bam.
All over. Yeah.
That, I think I could do that, but the moment it starts moving, I would start being, and the wind is kind of crazy up in those mountains.
Mm-hmm.
The moment it started moving, I would be like, yeah, I'm coming down. I think.
So the whole castle that I forget if it's 160 feet tall or something. This pickup truck right here is what he used to get the supplies up to the height. So he'd do a layer of the stone for the structure, and then he would weld a pole as high up as he could reach, and he'd put a pulley on it, and then hook it to this truck over here, and he would hoist the stuff up there. And once he got it built up so that he couldn't do that anymore, he'd weld some more sticks up in the air and pulling more stuff up.
Oh man, that guy's awesome.
He's an interesting fellow. He's like, I don't know, 80 something years old now, so he just kind of sits around at the property at this point, and his son and somebody else are out there just doing random stuff. Like they're not working on anything particular, but like we sat there and watched them for like half an hour, and they're just like doing some woodwork on nothing that you could identify. They're just working to work. Like they don't actually have anything going on.
They're like tearing up a bicycle tire.
What is going
You're
on?
at
Minutes.
the top of the disco ball, and you're like, "Hey, these look like new welds." And he's like, "Oh yeah, some people were on it last week, and it fell down." You're like, "Say again." It fell down last week.
Some of it looks like it.
Dang.
Didn't you say he had been sued by the government or the state or something hundreds of times or something?
I want to say dozens,
Dozens of
of times. I don't know
times?
if it was hundreds of times, but like if you look at like here's their Facebook, not their Facebook. Here's just some images from the Googles of this place.
Wow.
Nice.
So these are like stairs that go up. They welded this walkway all the way around the edge here. There's like spiraling stairs all the way up this thing, all the way up this one in the back.
It's like a Scandinavian dragon's head on there or something.
Like literally, like I want to say there's even pictures of him standing out on top of that as he's welding it.
This is very similar to my house design.
Yeah,
I'm getting ready to build.
There you go.
Yeah.
that's cool.
In this room, I don't think it'll show it here. No. On the left side here, there's like a big fire pit inside of the stone structure, but it has burnt away some of the floor right in front of it. So like your floor joists, which are these big wooden beams, are like burnt away close to where this pit is. Or like, I probably shouldn't be up here. I don't know what my insurance would think.
Crazy.
Yeah, I need
We
to
did
check this
all
place
it by
out.
hand.
Your insurance is like, yeah, we don't pay out for suicide. You're like, he was standing in a building. The building collapsed. Like, yeah.
I mean, this
That
would
green
probably
thing?
be awesome to take your drone out there and record it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here we go. Here's some of his signage out that says, the government made me put this sign out here, and this over here is a rant against, government overreach. It's pretty fun.
Nice.
Then you have to sign like a little
probably-
book to go in, saying that you're a guest and you're coming here of your own free will, and blah, 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 blah.
Was that early
I
on?
would have been friends with Dan's neighbor,
Is what
Which
everyone-
neighbor?
the one with the big signs on the fence.
It very well
To
could
the north
be.
of you. You know what I'm talking about?
This is the guy.
Ooh,
Huh.
yeah.
These are old pictures because he's much older now.
The neighbor that you're talking about, there's two neighbors that have dicey deals. It's probably closer to being Trevor's neighbor. You know who we're talking about, Trevor? Like there's signs about the governor, and
they're
there's signs
closer to
about.
Trevor's house.
Oh yeah, on
It's on Cleveland, right?
Colburn?
Or
I think it's on
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Cleveland. And so there's that guy, and if you look at the sky view of it, there's a old like Cold War era octagonal shaped impound where they used to practice
Pre-deployment bomb training or something.
like dropping dropping loads of equipment off and setting it up in this little compound. It's kind of a cool deal. And then the neighbor to the east of there built an entire house, like a nice house, put in a huge lake. And when he went to get the permit, like the final, they were like, oh, by the way, you're 5 feet too close to this compound. You can't get a final, you cannot live in your house.
To this formerly owned by the government compound.
To the former, well, it is still owned by the government, but it was literally a change of hands at the state level that caused them to say, nope, you can't do it. So he mows the whole yard. He maintains the house. He's still working on the house. He has never moved into it. It's literally his life's work at this point to keep up a house that he can't even live in, and like a 10-acre lake.
Really?
It's insane. And why? Because it's 5 feet too close to a supposed government compound, which they gave him a building permit for originally, and then they decided later, upon a change of hands, that the attorney general or whoever wasn't going to allow there to be a structure there, a house there. It's insane.
Yeah, it is.
He has nice big signs.
Oh, yeah. And I think he owns all the land around that compound.
And he doesn't allow them entry.
No, they forcibly enter. Let's see. Google. Let's go. I'm going to try. I'll pull up that guy. So the other thing I was going to say is if you're going out to Colorado Springs again soon, Trevor, you guys should go to the outside arcade in the kids would love it. It's the Penny Arcade or the Core Arcade.
Mm-hmm.
Right by, have you been there?
Yeah, it's in Manitou Springs.
Manitou Springs. That is a fun place for kids, I think.
It's okay, I guess.
You didn't like it?
I think whenever we were there, we were with other people, and they were in a bit of a hurry, so we didn't stay very long.
Oh. I think it's fun to take kids and spend like $30-$40 and just spend the whole evening there, personally. We've done it. I think we've done it twice.
I don't think I've ever been to Colorado Springs.
I like it. It's nice.
I have. A couple of times.
I kind of like the outskirts better than the actual town, personally.
I mean, that's usually the case.
Man, I can't figure out how to pull up maps. How do you pull up the other style of map?
On what? Google Maps?
Show imagery, layer. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to share this. Share screen, Google Maps. All right, can you see it?
Oh, yeah.
So, really nondescript shape for the government's property, right?
Yeah. Hard to
No one would ever recognize that.
Oh, weird.
And then if you zoom in on it, there's like some shipping containers. There's a bunker. There's a bunker. So there's two bunkers, or maybe a connected bunker. I don't know what that is. Oh, here's another bunker. So there's actually 3 bunkers, and I think those are a bunch of concrete, like
Stay on
guardrail things. Some rocks. So This guy has an airstrip.
Mm.
He has a business, or somebody has a business with a hangar, right?
Mm-hmm.
These two lakes, and supposedly this house is 5 feet too
The one
close.
that they can't
They
live
can't
in.
move into it. Yeah. How stupid is that? Who cares?
It's
Bureaucrats.
That's crazy.
So yeah, there's that. And the thing is, like, if you look at this house right here,
It must
let me
be
look.
5 feet further away.
Let me do it. Let me see if I
Measure.
can find a measurement on here. Let's see. How can I find a measurement?
Might have to be in Google Earth. I feel like Google Earth had the
yeah.
measurement tool.
Oh, you're right. I don't know, but I have this weird feeling that this
New
and that.
achievement.
What?
Whoops.
What was that?
Don't worry about it.
Somebody got a new achievement.
Somebody has a new achievement.
Yes.
Oh man.
Good work.
That's awkward.
What? How late you doing this, Darcy? Jimmy?
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Okay.
How late am I doing
True.
what?
So we're gonna give our YouTube channel updates before this is over.
Yeah. Go ahead. We already did touch on it a little bit.
I'm at
You lost
112
some subscribers.
I'm at 112, and that's only one subscriber more than I had, which means that getting 4 on a turkey video lost me 3 somewhere else. But I have 60.2 watch hours in the last 28 days. I'm not sure that we're making any headway towards our 3,000 watch hours in the last 365.
Nope.
Let me look at mine.
You have to look at yours to see how good it.
I've got 3 subscribers
Whoa, 3 subscribers.
and no watch hours.
Because you don't have any videos up.
Yeah, it says I need to create some.
Yeah, you need to create something. I have 3.1 thousand views in the last 28 days. That's good. And I also have I have 4 videos that are scheduled to drop over the next 4 days. However,
Nice.
I find it relatively easy to talk about the build. The problem is that I don't really care about the build, and I don't really know that, like, other than like grandma checking in to see how things are going, that anybody's ever going to care about the build. So it's kind of hard because when I try to think of something interesting to talk about on the video, it's I'm a little more stumped than just like talking about what's happening on the build. What do you think, Jimmy? What's your advice from a YouTube pro?
A YouTube pro like me?
A fellow
Yeah.
YouTuber.
Yeah, fellow YouTuber.
You just need to have some very creative, engaging conversation with your audience that, you know, it's appealing to a variety of different people.
That's
So
weird. It's exactly the opposite advice that I've gotten from everybody else. Interesting.
Well, how many viewers and watch hours are you getting?
I mean, I've got I've got 112 viewers, other
Yeah.
than the 3 that I lost. I would
My
have
advice if you want some big time views.
60.2 watch hours
Yeah,
in
so
like
that's
20
not enough.
days. No, it's not enough. I'm never gonna make any money on YouTube if I keep at that rate.
You guys got some thunder rolling down by you? You got the thunder. You got a
I think
storm
if you
rolling
want
in.
to post some interesting content, it just has to be something completely stupid.
You think stupid would be better?
Have you ever thought of doing the coin pusher videos?
Yeah.
I've never thought about that. Have you heard of this, Trevor?
Mm-mm.
You know the
Talking
machine,
about like
No.
the
little
quarter in
machines.
it. Yeah. Darcy has a friend who their whole YouTube channel is coin pusher videos, and
It's
it's all faked.
oh
It's
yeah.
faked.
He must have like so back in the day he was storage like he had a knockoff Storage Wars channel
Okay.
where he did all the filming and like went to all these storage unit sales and stuff. And I mean he felt like he was just like the dudes on TV. I've probably at any moment they were his channel was going to get picked up by HGTV or History Channel,
Yeah.
and
We
he
went
was
to
going to
college with this
make
guy,
it big.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know him, but you knew him.
You didn't know him.
I don't, not really. I've seen the videos, and I'm like, I recognize his face, but I didn't ever talk to him. I never.
Okay. He was at camp. Oh wait, no, he never came over to Whispering Winds.
Remind me his name.
Jeremy Hales. His channel is What the Hales.
I've watched it.
But
I,
he must have got.
yeah, I do
What?
remember. I do remember him. I just have to, when I see him again, I'm like, oh yeah. He was like a little chubby. Was he a little chubbier in college than he is now?
I don't think so. Maybe a little.
I mean, usually, I guess usually you're a little fluffier when you're younger.
Reddit, YouTube, exposing Jeremy. What the Hales? Jeremy Hales is
Oh,
a
for reals?
narcissistic bully. He calls people names, told a woman that she was fat, and thinks he's above everyone. That's the first thing on I guess the second thing on Google.
Nice.
That's awesome.
We have
That's
Fake publicity is
732
good publicity.
732,000
I
subs.
had to click to this video. Jeez. Oh, the video's
So,
not available
okay.
anymore. The intrigue.
Oh my goodness. So back in the day, so when he was in college, he came out to Appalachian, and he was driving nice cars, and I mean, he would have been, he's the same age as me, I guess. So he'd have been like early 20s. He was married, had a kid, and didn't have a job per se, but was not going into debt to go to college. And it was because he had been for a few years already selling on eBay, and his specialty, like his main deal, was toys and video games. And his theory, and it worked, was that like video games were one of the best things to sell on eBay for him because he had some capital, and so he would buy lots of video games. Like he would buy someone's entire collection, 300 games or whatever, for $1,000, and then he would take the time to sell them all individually. Because his theory was no kid can drop $1,000 on a bunch of video games, but every kid can talk their mom into letting them pay $20 for a video game. And so, or 30, or, whatever. And so he's making a lot of money on video games. And then he also bought and sold games and toys, like board games and like action figures. And well, he didn't do like antique stuff, not really. It was just all regular old toys. So that was his main deal. And then he also, when he was in high school, I think his dad fronted him a down payment, maybe, and he bought a duplex and rehabbed it and was renting that out. So when he came to college, he didn't need a job and had nicer cars than anybody and was doing really well. And so he just kept doing that stuff. And when he left school, he got divorced. Sure, that I don't know what all went down there, but now he's got this YouTube channel, and it was all storage stuff for a long time. And he must have bought a storage unit that had some of those coin pushers in it or something like that, because now he does a ton of those videos. Actually, I haven't looked at his channel in a long time. He might have moved on to something else. Calling names, I guess. Bullying
I don't
people.
know. He's got dozens of videos with some lady's picture posted on it. Apparently, they have a feud going. Him,
Nice.
this lady, and some other random dude. Unless
It's
this
probably
is a total wrong channel. I don't know. I don't know what the guy looks like. So it's
What the
it's
Hales?
called
Yeah,
What the Hales.
Yeah, it's him.
yeah. What's the woman's name?
I don't know.
Could
He
be
has
his
a bunch of
ex-wife.
posts now. Well, man, I don't know. It says still batshit crazy. 4 days ago.
I'm gonna look up. Okay.
Oh, the intrigue.
Overview. I'm looking for how to check another YouTube channels. How do I check YouTube channels views? But another from.
What?
I'm trying to look up. Desktop or mobile, go to the YouTube channel you want to check. Click About tab. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go. Oh, you have to go to desktop. Just a second here.
Maybe this lady goes by Deuce online. So we have some posts. Deuce's Guide to Losing Court Cases for Dummies.
Oh
no,
man.
Deuce is the dude. Okay, Deuce is the dude. I see. So that's the dude. Lynette, maybe? Not Lynette Preston.
Huh. It's all fake.
It's all fake.
It's all fake.
Yeah.
Okay, go to the channel. Just a second here.
It seems to be working for him. All of his videos have
Scroll
about
down.
30,000 views or something.
Yeah.
I guess if it works, it works. 30,000 to 50,000, but it doesn't look like it. I mean, that's about all they get.
Some 63, 73. I follow, although I don't watch, a couple of YouTube channels that have like 1 million followers, and the average views of the 1 million follower Arms Family Homestead and Keeping It Dutch, and various ones. Million followers, average views 30 to 100,000 per video. But both of those, one of them is super annoying. Keeping It Dutch is really annoying because he always, like, his clickbait of his video is always like a catastrophe. And the catastrophe he's talking about is like he put the fence on the wrong side of the posts and the hogs are pushing against the fence and they're causing
the fence post shiny.
They're causing the fasteners to come loose on the fence because instead of it pushing against the fence post, it's pulling away from the fence post because he didn't plan it right. And you're like, dude, that's not a catastrophe. That's just
dumb.
That's just dumb. Like, don't talk about that. And that guy gets like 1 million views. Like, not 1 million. He gets 20,000 views. The other guy, Arms, theirs aren't that interesting, but they're not about anything. They're just like them videoing their day, doing whatever they do. And the inspiring thing about that is like super low effort videos. They're just doing kind of quasi interesting things. And I saw him the other day. He was talking about many of their viewers are older women. And I think that his channel's popular because of like these older ladies like, oh, they're like my grandkids on YouTube. And that's it. Like, that's the sum total of why they watch them.
Interestingly enough, I just searched Lynette Preston, and I started scrolling down, and I don't know, a few pages down is Building a Homestead Ground Up, Episode 3, Driveway Dig.
Mine?
Yeah.
That's mine. That's weird.
Yeah.
You searched Lynette Preston and it presented my video?
Oh, wait. Okay, so... No. Okay, so at the bottom, it's the first video in the Explore More after the search results.
Okay. Interesting.
Maybe you should get in a feud with Lynette Preston, and then there's more of her down there.
That's weird. I think that the thing about the YouTube videos, and I'm saying this for me more than I'm saying it for Jimmy, is that making the ones that are not interesting is like a building block of making something that's more interesting, because you don't even realize how uninteresting your activities are until you try to make a video about them and realize, man, this isn't that interesting. But
I'm pretty sure.
You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Like, you gotta create a story around something for it to be interesting to other people. You like to do things, I like to do things that most people don't find very interesting at all.
Yeah.
I still like building a house, even if I don't. And the thing is, I don't even find it that interesting. Like, I'm like looking at the forums and everything today and trying to video and trying to think what to say about the concrete footer. And I'm like, this isn't that interesting, but I still like it. I don't understand why. I don't know.
Did you see that rabbit that I found? That was kind of interesting.
That was actually interesting. Did you get a lot of views on that?
No, that's the one that got the strike on it.
Oh,
like limited reach.
So, okay, they didn't say anything else about it though, right?
Well, here, I'll read to you what it says. Let me go back to that. Shorts. Oh wait, here we go. Home. Where was it? How did I get into that? Oh, here we go. All right. It says partially blocked. This video contains copyrighted material. As a result, it has been blocked in some countries and or regions. It has 62 views.
I'll tell you.
And it says, and under restrictions where everyone else says none, except for one says shorts policy. Your shorts visibility is not affected. The copyright protected content detected doesn't affect your short. Dude, so here's what it is. I'm picking songs from their list of things that they offer me to be in the background of my video, and then they're knocking me for it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Well, I'll tell you several that have happened to me. CapCut also offers material, and then you put it in your video, and then when you transfer it to YouTube, YouTube's contract only allows that video to be run for less than like 1 minute or less than 30 seconds. And that's where the strike comes in, is the amount of time that you play that song during the video.
Yeah, so the recent one is 56 seconds, and that song was a 1 minute clip. The other one, let me go down to.
No, that's the crazy thing.
Policy.
The ones that I've had strikes on, and I've switched them out, was it gave me a 1:30 clip, but then they only allow 30 seconds of the minute to be played without a copyright strike. It's dumb.
I don't even know if this one has music behind it. Oh yeah. It does have music. So I think that's what it is. All of these ones that I have these weird like restrictions have music in the background that they offered me.
Yeah.
They're
It's
tricking
dumb.
me.
They offer you the music. They say it's
But
copyright.
I'm
And then
getting wise to their shenanigans. It's taken me a while though.
I signed up for the other day I signed up for a copyright, like a company where if you tell it what song you're covering, so like I did that James Blunt cover of a song.
Yeah.
And I think that it's live. Basically, it's a profit share website that they have a contract with the artist, and the artist will share their profits with you off of a cover song or whatever. But you have to like register each song that you use. Like tell them I have permission through this framework to use the song.
Interesting.
but I haven't actually gone back and done it. Like, I haven't actually gone back to like the James Blunt song and said, hey, I want to, use this. Or I want to apply it to that song. Hey, Jimmy, did you move the picture behind you, or is it just a different camera angle now?
No, same camera angle, same place.
So I guess with 4 of us, it goes to full screen.
Yeah.
Versus thin. So we can see your whole office.
Yep. You can see my window.
Can you see me peeing?
Yep.
Did you install those blinds, or was they already there?
They was already there.
Those are super nice.
I do that.
They're real. Those are like $500 a window blinds.
Are they? They open up like that too.
Yeah, those are expensive.
They cost Jimmy a lot.
Yep.
There you go. That's another thing that they don't take into account, that you've got $500 window treatments on the inside of your house.
On every window on the main level.
Whoa. Yeah. Like, I can see $2,000 worth of window treatments on your, just where I'm looking.
There's a lot more windows with them.
Yeah. Do they keep the light out completely?
I would say, yeah, I think so.
95% probably?
Yeah, probably like when they're shut, you might get a little bit of like right there, you might get a little bit of light coming through if it's shining pretty good, but they do a pretty good job. We don't shut them ever.
Yeah, no, they're super nice. Those are real nice.
That's what people say when they come over here. They're like, whoa, those are nice. Those are expensive. I'm like,
they are.
They came with the house.
What I said when I came over and looked at them was like, what the heck did they do on this one here in the kitchen? Why it's like crooked.
Yeah, they're not squared up with the window, and I don't know why.
Weird.
Amateur.
2 of them.
Strange. All right, what else we got this week, guys? It's almost 12.
Yep.
Yeah, it's almost tomorrow.
It's almost tomorrow.
It's today.
It is today. It's almost today.
Hey, can somebody look at the back of my head and tell me if my haircut looks okay? Because
yeah, spin it around.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I think you missed a spot.
Is it pretty bad?
I can't hardly see it.
I think you could probably have a little more consistency back there.
Yeah.
Does look a little lumpy on
Is it pretty lumpy?
one side. Does it not feel lumpy whenever you run your hand up?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, right from this angle, it looks great.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I could see.
Yeah. Since your mirror was gone.
I had no mirror. So it's like right here, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the spot that I was focusing on.
Right here.
Looks fine. I guess.
I need to work on that blind barber system.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, so last thing. I've been thinking about trying to make a video about building your own house. And I realize that most people are not going to build their own house, right? But some people are going to build their own house. And I have a couple of different formulas for building your own house. Okay, and one of them is this. Okay, let's say that you are going to build your own house. You're going to do the vast majority of the labor yourself, or pay people cash for the build. Okay. Compare, like, if you could do all the labor building your own house to paying all the labor to build your own house. Like, those are your two options. I think that you can save 50% on the labor. And here's why I think you can save 50% on the labor. And I don't know how to formulate this into a video about it, but here's my theory. Okay, you're going to pay somebody 20% to builder your house, to be the general contractor on your house. So there's 20% off the top of the entire thing, which off the labor is like probably like 30%. Then, if you think about this, if you were to build your own house or do your own remodel project, if you have to go earn the money to pay someone to do the work, so you earn the money to pay someone to do the work, you're going to pay 20 to 30% taxes, and the person you pay is going to pay 20 to 30% taxes. So let's just say that averages out to 40% taxes. So if you just work on your own build, you're going to save 20% off the top plus 20% on taxes or more, right? So you're already, just straight off the top, you're saving 40%. Am I flawed in this thinking?
I don't think so. Have you thought about trying to put it into a Venn diagram? I've heard people like those.
I should look up what that is. No, I know what it is,
the
but
circles.
a Venn diagram. But does that make sense? Like, is that logical? Like, that's why you save the money. So unless you're making 50% more than the laborer who would do the project, it makes sense to do the work yourself.
As long as you can do it as quick as they can.
Right. As if you can do the work the same fast, the same speed as someone else.
Yeah, but a lot of homeowner people building a home don't know where to get supplies. They don't have contracts with suppliers that give them discounted rates, so they're paying higher prices for materials and that kind of stuff.
Right. So if you don't have any connections, you may not get a deal on anything, and you may not save 20% of the money. That's what you're saying? But
right.
But on the material side, that's not on the labor side.
Right.
However, I knew a guy who was a nurse, and he was making $50 an hour, and he was making like $85 an hour for his overtime or something along those lines. I think it was like 85. He was thinking about rehabbing houses as a side gig. And I was like, dude, there ain't no way you're going to make more money learning how to pull wire, learning how to do plumbing, learning how to paint, learning all the things you have to learn. There's no way you're going to make more money rehabbing houses on the side than just picking up an extra shift every week.
Mm-hmm.
Because
now you don't have to pay taxes on that overtime money.
Wait, is that true?
Well, that's what Trump's talking about.
Nah, there's no way that's going to happen. I don't see... ChatGPT didn't give me a Venn diagram example.
I don't know if you can make it into a Venn diagram, Dan. I'm sorry. I sent you on a rabbit trail there.
Venn diagrams are circles with overlapping areas.
Yes.
That's not it. Every one of them circles with overlapping areas. That's not helpful. Good try.
I found it fun. I found it fun to suggest, though.
Apparently, you thought you know more than you knew about Venn diagrams because that's a Venn diagram right there.
No, I was pretty sure I was giving you a bad suggestion.
A bad suggestion. Thank you, Darcy.
Okay.
That was really helpful.
That's the kind of content people want to see.
Yeah.
Apparently, you know what we should do, Darcy, for some content?
What?
I'm going to tell you. Okay. You have the Not Your Average Guys channel, and I have Not Your Average Guys. Okay. So let's set up a competition between Not Your Average Guys and the Not Your Average Guys channel. Whichever one those are. Okay. I'll see if I can finish my house before you finish your porch.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
It'll be like a feud.
High stakes.
And whoever wins gets to keep the name Not Your Average Guys.
Okay, let's do it.
So we both have to make shorts and be like, dude, there's another channel out there with Not Your Average Guys. They're calling themselves Not Your Average Guys. They're trying to steal my name. I contacted them. We agreed we're going to have a competition, a building competition. The building competition is I have to finish my house or he has to finish his porch. Whoever does that completely, if I move into my house before you completely finish your porch, and we have to define what that is, then you get to keep the name, and I have to go away in shame. And if it's the other way, then I have to go away in shame, and you get to keep the name. What do you think about that, Darcy?
I like it. I also like that the loser, the winner gets to keep the name. The loser has to. What did you say? Go away in shame.
Away in shame. Yeah.
Yeah, but not even necessarily give up the name. But
Okay,
there definitely will have to be a head-hanging walk down the driveway.
Accept the shame of having to give up the name. Is that it?
Maybe. It kind of even rhymes.
How do you feel about that? We could just do shorts. We could do a shorts battle over this.
All right, let's try it.
What are you putting in betting wise, Jimmy?
Jimmy's gonna try to get
Put up
one video.
If Jimmy puts up a video,
First video before you get your house.
One video.
I don't know. That's just, to me, that's too easy. Like, Jimmy has to hit 100 followers, legitimately come by, not purchased from India.
I know a guy.
Man, it's midnight,
Yep.
which means it's today now.
It's today.
Oh man! All right,
It's today.
let's be done.
I got a lot of work to do today.
I think we've given the people what they wanted.
I think that we've given the person what he wants or she wants. All right, Trevor, you got any final words?
Don't do illegal drugs, and that's it.
Only the legal ones.
That's it. All right.
Only the legal ones.
Only do legal drugs.
Yeah.
Fair
Yes,
enough.
but-
Yes to legal drugs.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have
That's
to
that.
sign off.
Well,
All right, that's been the Not Your Average
Okay.
Guys show for this week. It's the week of April. Yes, it was April Fool's Day today.
Oh yeah,
Huh, this
I
video
played
wasn't
I
real.
played
that
no
was yesterday.
pranks. That was yesterday. We started this in April Fool's
Yeah.
Day, and now it's not. So gotcha. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Okay.
And now we have to wait for the YouTube stream to go away.
For YouTube to go away. Yeah,
Yeah.
because YouTube keeps us on there for.
Don't say anything terrible about our mother-in-law before YouTube goes away.
Isn't that your brother-in-law?
Mother-in-law.